Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Beaumont Weekly. In this one, I've got a packed out day going between departments for different management meetings and setting up different systems for pretty much all of the various businesses. So it's gonna be quite a packed out day of meetings and information and stuff like that. It might be interesting for you as a viewer to see what it's like for me managing all these different kinds of business within the property space. Enjoy the video, subscribe. Right, into the office. I bought some of my coffee stuff because, frankly, I like decaf coffees. So he's a big man himself. Look at that. He's sexy with his Harry Potter glasses. Right, upstairs, make a coffee. I try and always start the day with a mocha, you know. But decaf, I managed to get off caffeine about 2 years ago and I've not gone back onto it, so I'm trying to stay that way. Bonjour, how art thou? I do that. Sometimes I just pretend I'm on vlog, just for practice, you know. So, bit of honey. I literally put honey in all of my stuff, but it's better than sugar. So decaf coffee, hot choco, honey. So, got architects who just come in here for a pre-construction meeting on Buzzers Bar. It's our little conference room. Sean's here. Hello. Sean produces our podcast. Grind podcast, make sure you go subscribe, and we're going to do a session today on all of our short content and marketing. We'll go through that, and then we're doing maintenance meeting later as well, going through software systems, things like that as well, and then we're going through all of our buy-to-let stuff, acquisitions, all those things later. So hashing through all the business is, but first things first, mocha.
Making mochas and meetings. Mochas and meetings.
Mochas and meetings. Let's call that this episode, mochas and meetings. I do have a lot of mochas. I might have like 3 or 4 a day, but then I have loads of teas as well. So I probably have like 10 hot drinks a day sometimes. But then sometimes it's 2, so it balances out a bit. But nothing's caffeinated. But I do have a lot of nicotine, so.
What about meetings? Because you might not find this that interesting. I see you do about 5 of these a day, even from home. So what does this work that you do actually consist of? A lot of it is meetings, right?
Well, yeah, but the meetings aren't necessarily structured like weekly meetings on, you know, this reporting data and this and that. Like, we obviously have some of those, but most of it is me having ideas, wanting to implement new ideas, strategy, and then a lot of it's just solving problems. Like, there might be issues and stuff. It's like, right, well, we need to meet up and we need to talk through this thing. We need to, like, talking with Sean today about growing the viewership through different format of short content ads, because we're looking at our data and going, we can do this better. So we're looking at that stuff. In the maintenance business, we're just integrating new softwares so we can get that thing up and running. So that's looking at the growth of the business. A pre-construction meeting for the construction is obviously just a must, something we have to do to make sure that that job is ready, set up, so that when we pull in the funds from the bank to go live on that job, everyone knows what they're doing and we have a clear-cut plan set out with our design team. And then tonight, going through all the buy-to-let stuff and the acquisition strategy and genning up the twins as well to help on that side. That's all, again, just about growth and building up that sort of product line. So almost always I'm working on the growth things and strategy, marketing, or solving problems. Those are usually the things, and then there are the odd, you know, sort of formal meetings just to update on business operations and things like that. But usually to identify problems to then go and solve the problems. But that is my job. So there you go. And we're filming more property ads. We've got Mr. J with Mr. J camera.
Let me run and get something real close.
Look at that run. Look at that run as well. That is a run. That's a run. That gizmo. We're going to shoot some more ads because we're assessing all of our funnels and everything else. We're having 20 minimum investor calls every single week. And that's with Dad having a day off as well. So we've got another sales guy who's been working for us for the last 4 or 5 months now, and he's now going to step up to the plate as well and take on some more of the sales calls, because we're basically bursting at the seams. But we're constantly trying to adjust our funnel and create new ad copy and content that we can put in there and make that better as well. So we are doing that, but it's testament to building our social media, and that all complementing with our target ad funnels, and 9 months to build out these systems so that they actually work, and that you're not spending thousands of pounds trying to speak to people on the phone. So that's what we're doing, shooting some more ads, improving the sales process of our business so we can build more properties. But anyway, we're gonna go do that. You're gonna see some of it.
Behind me is a buy-to-let project we're currently refurbishing. It cost us £81,000 to buy, £27,000 to refurbish Roundup sound.
Look at Mr. J, man.
What's that?
He edits it though, so you can get it.
You can take it out.
It's all over the website. Right, we're done here. We filmed a load of regurgitations of the same ad. I think it's going to be a good one. Juicy stuff. And you're looking for a community, you know, a network. Network is so important in property. And you're looking for a network of people who you can hive mind ideas with and solve your problems. Well, we, as property developers, have put together the Ground Up Network. Sweet! So, Ground Up, plug. Noah, plug. Look at that. Luigi, up from the south. So, just vetting there some of the promotional material that we're now putting out into the ether, because by this time the Ground Up Network will be live. What is the Ground Up Network, if you're asking? Well, Ground Up is Ground Up Podcast, and myself, Jack Jiggins, Stuart White, and Dorian Payne have been running since, I think, May of this year, or maybe April, might be earlier. We've done 36 episodes so far, so however many weeks that is, which is 36 weeks, that's when we started it. And the whole plan was for us to build like a free space where we could exchange ideas, get guest speakers in, and just chat shop every week, talk about property, business, and that is what we keep doing. So make sure you go subscribe to the Ground Up Podcast. But now we get a lot of requests, each of us individually and as the Ground Up, loads of questions and people asking for help on stuff and things like that. And we've helped where we can, but obviously it's not very scalable. So we thought, rather than these training gurus out there who, you know, sell 10, 20, 30 grand packages for you to go and learn something from someone who's never actually even done property development, we thought, what's a scalable way that we, as quite busy people, can create a network where everyone can benefit and hive mind ideas, share resources and collaborate and things like that. So we've created the Ground Up Network. Ultimately, it's an online platform where you can where it's £100 a month, so it's a subscription basis to keep the costs down, but by having hundreds or even thousands of members in there, of, you know, from tradies to brokers, developers, business people, we get everyone in there and we can hive mind ideas. There's a community section where you can post a problem you might be having on a site, or you want some advice on something, you can post that in there, and there'll be different people who can help out. We'll obviously be helping out as well. Then we've pre-recorded hundreds of hours of modules, deep diving on the different facets of the project life cycle and all kinds of other things with new build developments, social housing developments, all that stuff as well. So there's a plethora of content. It's all indexed, so it's searchable by keywords, so it's quick to find stuff. It's like a library of content. And there'll be weekly Q&As and seminars, so every week we'll go live, engage with the community, get feedback, anyone got any questions that they want to field or problems with their sites or anything like that, and we'll be there as like an ongoing resource, everyone collaborating together. So that's what we've built. It'll be released by the time this comes out. You should see a link either in the description here or just go over to the Ground Up pages and you'll be able to find that link. It's £100 a month, 7-day free trial, so try before you buy, you literally have nothing to lose. We want to create a really engaged community that's a low price that everyone benefits from, and stop these training gurus ripping people off with tens of thousands of pounds. So that's the plan. We think there's a good space in the market for it because there's no real developers at scale providing this kind of service. There are the training guys, but no one actually doing the stuff on the ground to create this kind of network. So that's what we've launched, and we want to nurture it and grow it in 2025. So make sure you go join. Big love. Let us know what you think of it.
We are here at the laptop with Mr. Matthew. So Matthew has joined the business over the course of 2024 and built out all of our sales funnels and our marketing campaigns and things like that. And me and Matt have worked closely on producing the best funnels possible to reduce cost per acquisition of our leads, as well as just creating coherent stories from the start to the finish. So it's taken a lot of iterations, a solid 9 months before the funnel started really producing well for us. A very difficult thing to do. And having the social media part of our business as well means that we have a leading advantage. So me and Matt are just going to talk quickly about some of the numbers, some of the things we have set up so you have a better idea on how we market as a business. So welcome, Matthew. How are you?
I am good, mate. I'm good. I actually just got off the back of a call with Noah. So if anyone doesn't know, Noah's Honor's younger brother. And we spent some time going through pretty much the same stuff as well. And I think what you said there's probably a key point is like having the social media and having the presence that we have and the ability to build trust, not only with the people that are following us and consuming our content, but also those people who have never heard of Beaumont and Partners before, is quite a challenge. And it's quite a balancing act to get that right, from, you know, top of funnel ads through to the landing pages and the nurturing on the back end as well. So we're at a good point with it now. There's always room for improvement, but definitely better than where we were say 6 months ago, where we were sort of trying to piece things together and didn't
Yeah.
really have an idea.
Yeah, people think that when it comes to Facebook ads, you spend on ads and you should start making money, right? You start making leads. Absolutely not. Completely flawed thinking. Like, it takes so long to figure out how to get the nurturing sequences right, the funnels right, the messaging right, the type of ad copy you need. It just takes a long, long time. And sometimes it just doesn't work for some people because they can't quite suss it out. But yeah, we've managed to get it to a place now. So let's give an idea on some of the campaigns we run. So top to bottom, what are the different campaigns we have?
Right. So we have as two main product offerings for the business. We have the HMO side and we have the buy to let side, and we split those up into separate campaigns, and then we split them one level further as well, so we can track on a sort of macro level, are people coming through the organic sort of links that we're leaving in the bios of the social media pages, in the description of YouTube videos, things like that. But then also who's coming through the paid ads. So we know when somebody lands in the CRM, have they been watching us a while? Do they know a little bit about us already? So will that entail maybe a slightly easier, warmer conversation? Or are we going to have to really do some heavy lifting to get them from, okay, I've seen an ad on social media, don't really know who you are, might have forgotten who we are by the time we actually speak to them. So how do we pick up at the point in which they've sort of discovered us, if that makes sense?
Yeah. Yeah. So we're running ads for buy to let stuff, HMO stuff, and the ground up network now as well. And we basically copy and paste the same sort of sequences, but then we have to change all the sort of messaging, and the type of user as well that you're targeting can really dictate like the messaging, and then how long they'll stay on a landing page. What kind of offer is it? Are you giving them something for free? Is there a lead magnet, a hook? And all these things have to be figured out, and it takes a long time, and it takes a lot of testing, really, isn't it? I mean, the amount of times you've just called me up and gone, oi, we should try this. We should try add this kind of video at this point. And then we change one thing, and then suddenly we get way more leads for it. But then it drops off again, and you think, okay, what's happening there? Is there some kind of inertia that we're not quite understanding with the lead flow? And it's just like a lot of back and forth. It's almost like everyday squeaky bum time, isn't it? You're constantly going, oh, we've not got as many today, or our cost per lead's going up again. What can we do? And then we're rethinking everything, aren't we, all the time?
Yeah, and I think today's a prime example of that as well. Like today, things have absolutely tanked, and it's for literally no apparent reason. Because if you compare the performance of the ads over the last maybe 5 or 6 days, day on day as well, it's been fantastic. And then today, it's sort of dropped. And I think that's one of the biggest things, is not making any decisions based on emotion. You've just got to have a look at it for what it is. And I think today, given the fact that we run campaigns for Ground Upside, we run them for Bowman and Partners, and then we have a number of different types of campaigns in the ad account as well. When that happens, and it happens across the board, it's sometimes safe to assume that maybe it is just a bad day. Things aren't working out how they should. So not change anything, run it for a couple more days, and then make a decision based on what the numbers are telling you, rather than going, we haven't got anything today, we need to panic.
Yeah. And sometimes it's just meta bugging out, innit? And you just can't fully know what's really going on. But yeah, I mean, that's our whole thesis was basically, can we scale our type of business through ad spend? Is that possible to do? And it took us 9 months, but it turns out it is possible. But it takes a full sales team. It takes a real in-depth understanding of the kind of funnels and the software and the techie side of things. It takes someone full-time having to manage those things. It takes a lot of ad spend, takes resources, and it takes social media as well. Because if you have the social media side of it, then it's much more tenable, because people can fall into our ecosystem as well. So any leads that don't necessarily, come to fruition straight away, they could fall into our sort of basket, and they get nurtured over time. So you kind of need a lot of things in the equation for it to work for our type of business, I feel, compared to like a standard sort of e-commerce business. We're really selling a story here. It's a story that people are buying into, and then they have to kind of learn for themselves as they go, rather than just, here's the offer, buy or not buy. Do you know what I mean?
It's a huge trust game, like ecom, or even sort of the deal analyzer that we're running. You can equate it to that. Like, that's a 20 quid once-off purchase. People are buying based on emotion there. It's really easy to go, okay, I can part with 20 quid for something that looks like it might be all right, and if it's not, well, not the end of the world. But here we're asking people to part with sometimes hundreds of thousands of pounds to go into a deal. They want to make sure as well that we're the perfect fit for them. But equally so, we want to make sure that we're working with clients that are the right avatar for us as a business, people who are easy to work with, people who aren't going to cause hiccups down the line. So it's getting that right, and taking the data that we have and looking at, everyone who's come through, everyone who's purchased, how they've been to work with, and saying, okay, well, how can we find more of those people? Follow their journey and reverse engineer it to get to a point where that's all we're getting. It's never going to be perfect, but it's a good starting point.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Well, hopefully that gives people a little insight into the marketing side of what we're doing. Obviously, we also, on top of all that, produce a bulk load of content. We're releasing 3 shorts a day on every single platform. Then we've got the secondary channels where we release another 3 shorts a day. And then we've got the main vlog that goes out every week and the concept videos that are high quality as well. So it takes, we've got this and the Ground Up podcast and all the content that comes out of there as well. So it's a lot of content that we produce for our marketing stuff, as well as all of the ads and the funnels and the email marketing, and then having the sales team as well to pick up the phone to be able to take investors through their sort of discovery calls. So that's what we've done over 2024, and we've built out quite a beast, I would say. Quite a beast, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, it's looking good. It's a bit of a spider's web sometimes to get your head around. Even myself, I'm in it every day, and I have to stop and think, okay, where is that going, and where's that content come from?
Yeah.
But it slowly becomes second nature. And I think also now worth mentioning the sort of evolution of AI and where we are with it now, being able to leverage that to pick up some of the sales slack as well on the back end. It's just been super interesting. Still not where we want it to be, but definitely nice to do some of the heavy lifting for us, which is something interesting that maybe we can dive into at another point in time.
Beautiful, mate. All right. Well, thank you, Matt. Just keep being yourself, man. Just keep living.
Try my best, mate. Try my best.
Sick.
So Sonny wanted to film this section close up because I look like a tramp today with my slides. We just did a paddle tennis session. It's well fun. There's a new paddle tennis court that just got built in Darlington. And as a family, we've just got back into paddle tennis. It's the one in Durham, but now there's one in the town centre. So you'll see us playing some paddle soon. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. Big love. Jacket, lots of fur on it. I'm thinking of getting rid of one of my cats. I've got 2 people who really want Jax, but he's just so, just having the 3 of them is a lot of fur, a lot of pooing. That litter tray is getting turned around once a day. So logistics at home is starting to become a bit of a nightmare. Either I put a cat flap in the door, which has been quoted 600 quid to replace the glass and then do the cat flap hole and all that stuff, or I set them free into the wild, or I have to at least drop 1 cat. And obviously, I'm not just gonna set it in free into the wild, that's a joke, but 2 friends are willing to take one on. So that's what's going through my head at the moment. I thought I'd share that with you as relevant information. We've also just secured a pub conversion. That will be fun. Nice big pub, we'll show you that in the upcoming vlogs. Turning that into a 17-bed HMO, so cluster flats. So I'll run you through the details of that when we're on site. But big love, make sure you subscribe, do all that fun stuff. See you next week.